Hey friends, happy Wednesday. Me and Kali here to give you our last habit for January. So little recap. We've been adding one healthy habit each week in January as we move throughout the month to kind of build some momentum and keep the ball rolling. So often we set these like really big goals for the year that we want to achieve, and then by the middle of January, we're not reaching them because they're so big and we kind of fall off. So hair's really big today. So like that we kind of lose our momentum. So to avoid that, we are, adding those habits as we go so that we can keep that momentum rolling, keep the ball rolling, and eventually throughout the course of the year we'll make our way to those really big goals that we have. So for the first week, we talked about our daily habits, and we started with something as simple as making your bed every morning, right? It literally takes me, I don't know, maybe 15 seconds to make my bed in the morning when I get out of bed. And it gets really nicely made when I change the sheets, and fix it up, and really tuck those corners in nice and tight. But for the most part, it stays pretty nice while I'm sleeping. I'm one of those people that folds the covers over and then back over in the morning. So super super easy. Then the following week we talked about routine. So the simplest, most basic was just setting a routine for yourself, finding some consistency in your habits and in your patterns, right? And then later we'll worry about what do we want to tweak in our routine. And week 3 was all about finding joy, right? How can we find intentional moments in our day every day of joy? No strings attached, just joy. Like the dog with the ball that's now, she's just happy. She's just got her toy and she's good. She probably would like a little bit more attention from me, but other than that, like, life is good. So that's where we've been so far. So we're in a different space today, you might notice. And if you hang out with me for yoga, this looks really familiar, although maybe a little bit different. I did some reorganizing. But this space looks pretty familiar. So what we're talking about this week is movement. So I thought we'd come hang out in the space that I usually teach yoga and usually do that movement kind of, in honor of our theme today. So movement. The first thing that maybe you're thinking is like exercise as punishment, right? It's not that. It's not supposed to be about that. It's not like, oh my God, I ate pizza. Now I have to go, burn 1,000 calories because I ate pizza. Like, it doesn't have to be that way. Movement should just be more about things we enjoy. And so we're kind of linking into week 3, like that joy aspect. But just things that we enjoy, that we find time for every day. So when we talk about movement and we start to move away from this idea of exercise as punishment, it opens up a lot more stuff. So typically when we think of like burning calories and exercise, New Year's fitness goals, all this kind of stuff, we're kind of imagining the gym and treadmills and, maybe group fitness classes and, maybe trainers yelling at us to, do one more push-up or whatever it might be. And listen, whatever works for everybody. I'm not telling anybody to stop what they're doing, but this is something a little different. So this is about, think about it more in terms of celebrating your body, right? So it's like being thankful and grateful that your body is able to do this thing that you want to do with it, right? There's gonna come a day maybe in our lifetime where like we can't just swing those legs out of bed and hop up and do stuff. Maybe best case, it just gets a little bit more difficult. We move a little bit more slowly, but maybe we really, something happens to us that we can't have the same mobility we have now, right? Things transpire in our lives. So be grateful for this movement, for this body and what you're able to do with it, how it carries you through your life, and find ways to like make that a celebration in your movement, right? So maybe you I love to kayak. I love to be outside. So I love to go hiking, be out in nature, be out in the woods, just go for a walk. I love to walk the dog. If we have like it snowed yesterday, we didn't go for an afternoon walk because it was just a little too miserable to be outside, and I missed it, right? Like I crave that time now. I look forward to it. So that's movement. It's it's a healthy thing to do. It's a healthy activity and healthy movement, but it's also just something that I enjoy and that I find pleasure in. Same thing with like kayaking and hiking. They're super healthy activities that, kayaking, I get a great workout in when I'm kayaking, but it's not about that. It's about just being out there and being outside and being with nature, and doing something that I really, really enjoy doing. Um, and lots of things become movement when we open it up and we think about it this way. So now gardening is movement, right? Maybe that's something you really enjoy, being outside with your plants and in your garden, or really a lot of outdoor activities involve movement, right? So pretty much anything that you enjoy outside. Maybe you like to play sports, right? Maybe you're like my sister's on a softball team, like a community softball team. So maybe you do something like that, and that's where you're getting your movement for the day. And then we start to shake it up, right? It doesn't always have to be, you're not gonna play softball every single day, 365 days a year. I kind of walk the dog like that, so that's a little different, but I don't kayak 365 days a year, right? So now we start to, when we open it up and we're including all these different types of movement and ways of movement, now we get to do different stuff all the time, right? So now it's fun. Loop back to week 3, that joy. So try to find, so our goal this week is to find space for movement every day. And just like everything else, you guys are going to start to notice some themes as we go, right? It's about intention, about being intentional with that movement. So I don't kind of like forsake that walk with the dog. I like mark it down. I make sure I'm present, that I'm there for it. It's not just this chore that I have to get done. I'm not gonna lie, every once in a while it is, maybe I have to, get to work, or I have to do something, or I'm getting out of the house and we have to just go for a walk so she can go to the bathroom. So every once in a blue moon, it is just a task that I'm getting done. But way more often than not, 98% of the time, it is this thing that we're doing that I'm enjoying, right? And I feel like I talk about walking my dog a lot, but it's this quarantine, guys. Like, what else is there? So think about ways that you enjoy, maybe getting outside. At least like one thing outside would be great, because it's great to get some time in fresh air every day. No pressure, but I encourage it to try to do something outside. Maybe even just like a 5 or 10 minute walk outside, even if you just like go around your house or something. I know it's cold, but it does feel good and you get used to it. I was ready to hate it. Like I was not looking forward to winter. My mom even got me snow pants for Christmas so that I could walk my dog and be warm, because I'm such a big baby with the cold. But I've really enjoyed it. It's been quite lovely. So, start to like make yourself a list even of things that you enjoy. Turn it into a game. I've seen where people do like those date night jars, right? Do like a movement jar where you put, maybe like I've seen it on like popsicle sticks. And you write one thing on a stick and you just grab a stick. You could do it with self-care also, right? With your things of joy, like maybe you have a couple jars lined up with some sticks in them, and your friends and family think you're weird when you come over, but that's okay. And you just you pull a stick, like what's my joy gonna be today, and you just pull a stick. Or what's my movement gonna be today, and you just pull a stick. And maybe big things like going kayaking or something might not always be available, but little things like taking a walk or spending 15 minutes in the garden, or maybe you like to clean, maybe you like to organize your house, maybe that makes you happy. That can be movement. Some people really like that, soothes them, right? They find a lot of peace in reorganize. I like to organize things. I'm people. It's me. I'm people. But but yeah, so just whatever comes to mind for you, keep it interesting. I'm just peeking at my notes, make sure I said everything I wanted to say to you guys. Yeah, those are the big things. Make it not a punishment. So this is not burning calories, exercise, grinding at the gym because you're bad to your body. Okay, this is none of those things. Nothing negative. This is about finding joy. This is about only doing things that bring you joy. So I spent a whole year once working with a trainer, going to the gym. I was really good about it. I made progress. I was happy every time I made progress. Like, I lifted heavier. I did more push-ups. I'm lying. I can't do push-ups still. I did, whatever I improved on, like, I was happy about it all the time. But, like, it really didn't bring me joy to be, like, in the gym. It was, like, this thing I had to drag myself and convince myself to do all the time. So I found that although I did make specific gains in, moves that I was doing or weights that I was lifting or whatever, like, I did make progress because I was doing it. I didn't really make, like, the full body progress, like the transformation that I was really, like, looking for, because I still wasn't happy. Like, so I found that other areas of my life weren't finding the same improvement. That fast forward to now, where I just find space for this movement. I go kayaking, I go hiking, I make it a priority to do something. I have my yoga practice, all these little things now become things I look forward to and that I want to do, and that, get me out of bed in the morning. Walking the dog is one of the first things we do every day, and I look forward to it. It gets me out of bed in the morning. So, the gym never got me out of bed in the morning. I was like, oh, now, like, I'm like, oh, like, look, it looks beautiful outside. I'm gonna walk the dog. Maybe if I wake up and it's raining, I'm like, oh, I don't like that. But if, I wake up and I look outside, the sun is shining, I'm like, oh, yes, and I roll over and we get ready and we get excited and we go outside and we go for a walk and it's great. So it's a whole different shift, and then that good energy spills into the rest of our lives, right? So if that good energy can spill into the rest of my life, it kind of almost has to hold true that the bad energy of, like, dragging myself to the gym was spilling out into the rest of my life, right? Like, if it works one way, it probably works the other way. So if you're doing something consistently but you hate it, it's probably not giving you all the benefit that you could get if you did something different that you actually enjoyed. So, maybe you think that, going for a walk every day isn't going to, reach the same benefit that, hours in the gym is going to do. And I'm not going to try to tell you that it is. Lifting weights for hours in the gym is not equal to, well, it's different. But you might notice more health benefits and that you feel better. And maybe you just change your gym routine a little bit. Maybe you cut back a little bit or switch it up, or just figure out a way to find joy if that's like a priority for you and something that you want to incorporate into your life, right? Just because I just don't want to sound like I'm trying to tell anybody to quit the gym, because that's a good thing and that is healthy if you do like it. So just do what makes you happy. Do what brings you joy, guys. And we're almost at a 15-minute mark, and you know me, I babble along forever. So let's call it. So there's our goal. There's our habit. Make a list. Find your joy, or find your movements. Find the things that you really like doing. Figure out a way to start incorporating them into your routine. Make your goal just like 15-20 minutes a day to start. If that's your place, that's your starting jumping off point. Maybe you already do that, so maybe you're looking to add something a little bit more. Or maybe you make it your goal to do, like, one big activity a week, like go for a big hike or kayak, like one of those bigger things. Maybe you make that a more consistent part of your routine. Whatever works to shape where you're at now and what your next step would be, what makes sense for you. So have a great week, guys. I'll see you next Wednesday. Bye.